Yes, people, wife boy, and the January transfer window has officially slammed shut, meaning we now have the opportunity to evaluate Arsenal's business throughout the window. As always, let me know in the comment section down below your thoughts on Arsenal's January transfer window. I'd love to hear it. And while you're down there, make sure you subscribe on my road to 2,000 subscribers. So I put out on my community poll the other day, grading Arsenal's January transfer window, and I want to know your thoughts in the comments, as well as giving it a grade from A star to D on how you believe Arsenal did. And to be fair, it kind of went how I expected. Of the 106 votes, the majority was for B, basically just above average, with a few grading it A and a bit more A star, and much less grading it less than the B, which to be fair kind of aligns with my thoughts, right? Because it's a January that we know we had to improve on from last January, last season, where we completely bottled it and signed no one, and we did end up doing business, which for me overall is a good thing. The question now is whether the business is good business, and I guess it's always retrospective, because you only see how good it is once the seasons progress, but you do kind of have an initial idea whether Arsenal have done well or not. So starting with the incomings, right? We brought in 3 players, Leandro Trossard, Jakub Kiwior and Jorginho, with a total spend of 50 million. And we know we needed squad depth. Our starting 11 looks solid. I believe every gunner thought, you know what, if we don't actually strengthen the starting 11, I'll be happy with that, just as long as we bring in key bench players that can improve our bench, our game winners off the bench and our second squad. And to be fair, we've done that. Leandro Trossard, he wasn't our number 1 target. It was in fact Mykhailo Mudryk, but he's coming out in his 2 appearances for Arsenal against Manchester United and Manchester City. He's looked decent, he's looked a tricky player and a bargain at 21 million, and someone that can really impact the squad. Jakub Kiwior, who was signed just after Trossard as a left centre-back cover, we have not yet seen play. However, he is covered to Gabriel, who has played a lot of minutes this season, so in that respect seems like a decent player, young as well at only 22 years old. And in the final one on deadline day, Jorginho has split opinion. A lot of Gunners fans are saying it's a brilliant bit of business. He brings experience, steel, a covering sentiment which we needed, whereas the other Arsenal fans are saying it's another Chelsea player we've signed, they've flopped in recent years, he's got no legs anymore, I don't trust him in midfield, he's going to slow us down. So there's 2 sides of the coin. For me, I think Jorginho is a decent bit of business. Don't get me wrong, I would have loved for us to sign another centre midfielder, someone that's got a bit more of a destroyer in them, like a Caicedo type player in CDM, rather than necessarily only Jorginho. But you can't fault the fact that Jorginho does bring experience to this club, and he is a player that Arteta does fancy, given he wanted to sign him at Man City when he was there as an assistant coach, and he's got that type of ball playing ability that Arteta likes in footballers. The only problem is his age. Can he keep delivering that? Because he already has declined this season, but maybe a change in environment will help him. But in terms of the incomings, although it is good business for 50 million, bringing in 3 players and 3 decent players that have improved our bench and our squad, we have to say that we did miss out on some top targets. Our number 1 target this January was Mykhailo Mudryk. Facts. Everyone knows it. It was revealed by David Ornstein, Fabrizio Romano. Every journalist knew Arsenal wanted Mudryk, and we did not get it over the line. Do I begrudge the club for that? Not necessarily, because we did all we could. We offered way over the odds for the man. Chelsea just offered more, and he went there. It's just the way it goes. But it's another case of Arsenal not signing their number 1 target. It hasn't necessarily affected us too much in the past, because we know our number 1 target was Vlahovic. We didn't end up getting him in January. We waited 6 months and got Gabriel Jesus. Seems like a great signing. Our number 1 target in the summer was Lisandro Martinez. We didn't end up getting him. We ended up getting Zinchenko. They both ended up to be decent players, to be fair, but I think we can all agree that Zinchenko has been top quality for Arsenal. So just because we missed out on our top target does not necessarily mean it's a bad thing, but it is worrying when we consistently miss out on our top target window after window. And Mudryk was our number 1 target. And I have no doubt that if we did bring Mudryk into this club, it would be a top signing as a left winger, because he already looked electric in his debut against Liverpool for Chelsea. Jakub Kiwior, to be honest, this one came out of the blue. I know we need to address that left centre-back position. I think we can all agree that. But for me, it wasn't really necessarily on the priority list. I really wanted an attacker and centre midfielder. And if we got a left centre-back, I would be happy. We bring him in, 22 years old, from Spezia, Poland international as well, playing the World Cup. Seems like a decent bit of business. I'm not going to lie and say I've watched a lot of him play, because I haven't. But he fits what we need. He can fill in at CDM. He's played that in the past, and left back as well. He's versatile in that aspect, which we know Arteta values. So for me, if he can mould into that left centre back backup position that we know we do not have right now, because Pablo Mari, I'm guessing, will be sold when he comes back from his loan, I think it's decent business from Arsenal. And then of course the final one, Jorginho, is a centre mid, which we know we needed, and we brought in exactly that. Would I prefer a better quality centre midfielder? 100%. Because I still do believe if Partey gets injured, we will be worried. It's not like Jorginho's coming. I'm now thinking we're sorted if Partey gets injured, we'll be completely fine. It's not like that whatsoever. Whereas if we did sign someone like Caicedo, we would have been alright. I think if Partey got injured, I would be much less worried. I still would be worried because Jorginho and Xhaka as a 2 in midfield, it's not necessarily filling me with great confidence, to be completely honest. But he's a player that can come in, and as I've slept on it, I do see the value in bringing Jorginho, a winner, into this football club. And yeah, hopefully he can benefit us. Let me know your thoughts on the incomings in the comment section. Also, your thoughts on Edu's business, because I know a lot of people have been saying it's been good. A lot of people are saying it's been bad. I'm not too sure. For 50 million to get these 3 players, I'm happy with that, to be honest, especially in the current inflated market. Could we have spent more money? Potentially, but spending 50 million in January is pretty decent, especially given how much we spent last January, which was basically next to nothing. The only problem is you've got teams like Chelsea who blow 300 million in one window, and now it sets the bar so high for other clubs because they're expected to not necessarily match that but get close to it, when Chelsea spent more than many other leagues combined. Now let's move on to the outgoings, because there's been a lot. There's been an awful lot of outgoings in this football club, but not necessarily any notable names. Lokonga, of course, on deadline day going to Crystal Palace. I think that's a really good move for him. Get him some minutes. Don't get me wrong, I know Arsenal fans have been saying a lot about Lokonga in a negative respect, but the brother is a decent footballer. He's just not quite ready to play for Arsenal. He still will definitely do well in that Crystal Palace midfield, I'm sure of it. He was a captain at Anderlecht, don't forget that, so he still is a decent player, and I think Vieira will do bits for him. Cedric Soares out on loan. For me, sell the guy, man. He's 31 years of age. Why we loan out Cedric? You might as well just get money for him, even if it's 5 million. Just get rid of Cedric, man, because he's not going to come back and play for this football club. His time at Arsenal is over. We thank him for his service. There's no point loaning him out. Marquinhos, another good loan, just like Lokonga in my opinion. Definitely get him some minutes in the Championship. He needs that. I remember when he started for us in that Europa League game, the first Europa League group stage game this season, and he was absolutely electric. Since then, he's struggled to really get some first team minutes, but going out on loan to Norwich, I think will be a really good move for him, so I'm really happy with that. Omar Rekik, we loaned out, a centre-back. To be honest, we're signing Kiwior. We might as well have sold Rekik, because I can't see him breaking into his first team, to be completely honest. But we've loaned him out. Same with the young goalkeeper Arthur Okonkwo. Same with Brook Norton-Cuffy. And then a bunch of other players we've loaned out as well, apart from Harry Clark, who has left to go Ipswich on an undisclosed fee. So we've loaned out a lot of the youth players, but haven't received any notable money this January. I mean, you got to say, was there any deadwood to really ship out? I mean, I'd say Cedric was deadwood, to be honest. But we have already slimmed down the squad quite well. My only problem is that when we did go to sell players, we didn't necessarily get enough money for them. I mean, look at Chelsea. They've sold Jorginho, who was, a lot of people said, deadwood to Chelsea, 31 years of age, 6 months remaining on his contract. Yet they got 12 million for him. We paid 12 million for Jorginho. When we got rid of Leno, who was not by any means deadwood, we only got 7-8 million for him. Aubameyang, we had to pay to get rid of him as well. Why is it when it comes to Arsenal offloading players, we never seem to do well? It just completely baffles me, man. Like, we're just giving away players for free. They have no resale value. So for me, outgoings-wise, we should have got some money for some of these players. We don't need to loan everyone out. I want some money up front because there's certain players we got rid of that will never ever break into the first team. I hate to say it, but it's just true. Like Cedric, for example, not getting in the first team. Rekik as well. So we should just let them go, to be honest. But Lokonga, Marquinhos are really good loans, and I'm happy with that. So overall in this window, let me know your thoughts, guys, because Edu, he's split opinion. For me, I think he's done okay at best. Okay, to be completely honest, man. I think in a lot of signings he's done have been Arteta-esque players. I mean, look at Jesus and Zinchenko. Is that necessarily Edu's work? Not really, in my opinion. I think that's Arteta saying, I want these two players. I've worked with them under Man City. Get it done. Even Jesus had 6 months left in his contract, yet we still paid like 30-40 million for him, which is quite a lot for a player that's contract is running out in 6 months, to be fair, or 12 months. Same with Zinchenko as well. That was a lot of money. Fabio Vieira, 34 million has been a lot of money as well. He is paying over the odds for certain players, man. Even Caicedo, I mean, we were looking around 60-70 million. Brighton insisted he was not for sale. That was definitely an over-evaluation for that man. But overall for Edu, he's done the business in terms of bringing in free players. I would have loved to send another CDM on top of that. A proper CDM, like a destroyer in that midfield. But we didn't quite get it done. We got Jorginho instead, which, to be fair, I'll take, but I definitely would have preferred another top quality CDM overall next to him. Overall, ranking this January transfer window, I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. I think it's revealed just 3 positions. We've spent our money wisely. I just hope not getting another CDM like Caicedo, Locatelli, Zubamendi, anyone of that respect, or even a box-box midfield like players like Sabitzer, Aouar were available on the market this January. Not getting someone like that could cost us when the running gets tough, especially when Europa League and Premier League games are happening back-to-back Thursday, Sunday. But only time will tell. Right now, judging this transfer window as it's finished, I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. And to be fair, it's much better than I kind of thought at the start of the window, especially after I got scarred from last January when we signed absolutely no one. So I'll definitely take it, and we'll have to see how this season pans out. As always, let me know your thoughts of the January transfer window in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear it, especially you Arsenal fans. Let me know, are you happy? Are you not happy? If you're new around here and you love Arsenal-related content, make sure you subscribe down below. My growth over January was absolutely amazing. I did my best to cover the news as quickly as possible, and I'll continue to do so as the season progresses alongside match reviews, etc. I've been Wifey and hope to see you all in my next video.